Benny, bought a new SD card.
256.
Walmart, we're leaving Walmart. Just bought a 256 gigabyte SD card. We're gonna be able to videotape some more action for you guys. We're headed back to the job then.
I don't even know what that means.
So just picked up the new...
I love it, dude.
You're behind the scenes, dog. You see all my mess ups. Start of another job, and we're back to a customer that we did some stuff for last year, huh, Benny? Did some work here last year.
We did.
And the work was from right here down and all the way down around. We did this gravel driveway over. It was a lot narrower. We probably came out to like here and here. We widened it probably about 6 feet. But this is a really cool property. We pretty much graded this all to pitch to the left as we go down. And as we go down, you're gonna see the erosion mark where all this water is. I put these stones stacked together with the mini excavator I was using. And it's been there since. Pretty cool. But this is the erosion marks. You can see here, this is where all the water that comes down this driveway goes. And that's how we had it pitched. We had it to go this way, come down, and then we actually made this grade here. It's hard to see on camera, but it's actually lower than right there. So we almost made like a swale to divert all this water into this wooded area, because before this side right here was higher. So all this water came down the driveway around the corner into their house. I'll show you that a little bit later, but it was a mess. So we regraded all this and we swaled this out to divert the water into the woods before it gets down to the house. Got a project to do in the backyard. Gonna be clearing out an area that used to be open grass. It's been taken over by woods over the past 10 years or so, is what the customer's telling me. So we're gonna pretty much go through the whole area and scratch the surface, take all the vegetation and push it back further into their woods and just grade the area. And then at a further date, the customer might turn it into a new lawn, which we'd put topsoil and then seed it. But today we're just here to scratch the surface and grade. We gotta get this machine off. Ready to get this thing off, Benny? You unloading it?
Yep.
Nice job, Benny.
Nice job, Kyle.
Thick looking stone walkway. It's all that grass. This is the area that I'm clearing out. Pushing it back so they can gain their yard back. There's a few obstacles. That's their septic tank, leach field. And there's an extremely large, very dead tree. So I'm hoping none of those branches fall down on me while I'm working here. Right, bud?
What?
Right?
Right.
So this job entails us just kind of removing all this vegetation that's growing in this area. And thankfully the trees and the vines and stuff that are growing in this area have low root systems. They're not very deep, or I should say shallow root systems. So all I'm trying to do is push it back while removing all the roots growing in, and I'm actually going to use the brush and the soil to create a berm in the background. So these trees I'm pulling out here in New England, they are a very invasive tree. Once you start getting them, they spread like crazy. They're called sumac trees. And their roots are really shallow, which is a good thing. It makes coming in on a project like this and pulling everything up pretty easy. But they do really spread like crazy. They're just very invasive. And that's what we're doing here. That's a project. We're just clearing this whole area and getting it to a point where if he wants to put topsoil and extend his lawn, he can. All this still has to go. Back to time lapse. This loom?
I like it.
It's nice, huh?
Not too much crazy stuff in it.
This is right down the street from here, a local farm. But I didn't have memory on the GoPro earlier to show you this part of the project. But this is what Ben has been up to. This whole area over here was really low, so we're adding soil to lift it up and keep the grade, so the water can slope away from the foundation of the house and not towards it, the surface water. So that's what he's working on, putting it in a few inches at a time, stomping it in, and then putting more as he goes. He's gonna follow that all the way under the deck over there and make sure that everything can flow out into the lawn. Because right now it's kind of pooling up in that corner of the house right now. So Ben is going to continue on that. The other part of this project here is going to be leveling out all these natural stones. The biggest part we have to level out is over here by the driveway. It's very low and sunken in. So that is going to be the video of tomorrow. Make sure, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. And you can see how we go about leveling off natural stone slabs like that. But we are back over here. I'd say we're about halfway through the area that we're excavating out. So all the roots are gone. Anything sticking up really high we'll just snip with big loppers. But what I did here is, there's a lot of property, it's a lot of wood, so all the brush that we took, I rolled over, I broke it all up, and I crunched it, and I laid it out as flat as I could, and I pushed it down. And then when I came back through with the topsoil, there's a little bit of topsoil remaining that were mixed with a lot of roots, stuff that you don't want to necessarily have in your topsoil where you're going to be putting like your lawn per se. But it's great for forming a little berm on top of the brush, and it'll help the brush compost quicker into the earth. And aesthetically speaking, it looks nice. And that's where we got up to. The rest of this area over here, there's still a lot of stuff to pull up. This is their septic tank, and their leach field is out here somewhere. So something that you have to excavate lightly. Just scrape the top layer, just scrape the roots, and remove all this vegetation. We're going to be pushing all this stuff back into that corner and pretty much doing the same thing as I just showed you over there. Let's just get right back into it. Hop in the excavator. things you can do with the mini excavator in one day. This is only half a day so far. Like I said before, this is the septic cover, so the tank's probably right there. I did go over it once, so now I'm pretty much going to try to stay away from this area. I'm going to be taking all this stuff and pushing it directly back into that corner over there. And as I get down around this corner, what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to reach out and I'm going to pull this stuff towards me, and then I'm going to push it back to the corner too. I'm going to pull it and then push it. The next step for this customer is to pull the tree down. A big reason why we were even coming here to clear this area is to get it so someone can come in and remove this big dead tree here. I mean, it's really big, and it's dead. Been dead for a few years now, I guess. So there's a bunch of bittersweet vines entangled around the trunk of the tree and around the bottom of it. So what I'm actually gonna have to do, I don't have it with me today, but I'm gonna bring my pole chainsaw and cut all the vines so that it releases them and they're not tied to the tree. That way I can push and clean everything up around the base of the tree. Something that's very dangerous with doing work like this around a tree like that, especially when there's vines wrapped around it, is if I start tugging and pulling on these vines too much, a limb could very easily break off this tree, fall down, and crush the cab of the excavator. Whether it crushes it enough to injure me, you never know, but it'll definitely crush it enough to damage the excavator, causing it to need repair. And it's just a dangerous thing, so you got to be very careful, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to be working around the base of that until I can cut those vines off and safely clean up the base of the tree. And I'll probably be doing that tomorrow morning. got Benny.
Good morning.
How's your Red Bull?
It's delicious. Red Bull and a cigarette.
That's all you need.
Breakfast of champs.
Then you need a toilet, right?
Depends.
Depends. Depends on what you had for dinner.
No, I need depends.
Oh, you need depends. All right. Got him. Got him. We'll see you guys at the job. We're here. If you're really quiet and you listen, you got birds chirping, Benny, and you got the raindrops from the leaves of the tree clunking off the top of our truck. You're gonna feel those on your head when we start getting out, bro.
I'm gonna put my hoodie on. My hood.
What's that Luke Bryan song? Rain makes corn, corn makes whiskey, whiskey makes them girls
I don't know.
feel a little frisky. Needs me some gas. Yeah.
I didn't even think about trying to get that thing off.
Stuck?
What do you think? I just use the other side and just have that spit out with a little whatever. Just leave it on.
Why is it stuck? Can you hold the pipe? I'll pull. Watch, he glued it.
Right? That's what I was.
Yep, might have to. When in doubt, give up. I think that's how that quote goes. Looks like it's all pretty much loose. Cool. A little muddy. Not too bad though. Yesterday was a beautiful day. Beautiful, beautiful day. Got a lot of work done here. A lot of work done. So just to give you an idea for a measurement, from right there to that shed over there is probably about 130 feet, and then from the edge of the grass back is probably 50 feet, so like 130 by 50. Should be all set now. Just got to clean around that tree. Probably gonna push this back a little bit more, grade it out a little bit in some of these areas, but other than that, that is it for this job. The next step for the customer is to get this tree down and cleaned up, and then I think they're gonna make a decision from there on what to do with the area. I think they're probably just gonna try to turn it into grass and extend their lawn, but at least it's all cleared up and they can deal with this hazardous tree in their yard now. Benny, backyard's done.
Backyard's done.
I'm gonna go show these guys while you're working hard.
Well, go show them.
All right, Benny's been getting started on the third portion of the job here, and that is re-leveling off a lot of these natural stones. And if you can see on the top of this one, it's really dirty. These first 3 steps were actually below grade and covered in dirt and sand, huh, Benny?
Yep.
You couldn't even see the top of the stones.
Nope. They're below. Buried.
So right now, unfortunately, that really big stone is pitched towards the walkway. So all that water coming down the driveway and gravel is going over that top stone and into the walkway. So the remedy is going to be, we're lifting this big stone up in the back. We're going to leave it in the front. We're going to lift it up in the back to make sure that it's a good 1/4 inch pitch forward, to make sure that any water comes down will hit the stone and then keep running off down the driveway. That's what he's up to. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and check out the next video. We're done back here. It looks so much better. Extended their yard tenfold, and now they can have someone come in here and take out this dead tree. Had some stones from the excavation, made a little bench. Actually turned out pretty decent. So there's that. Just a nice little thing to do when you got some extra stones. Better than leaving it in a pile. Do something a little creative. I guess just to recap, what I did was pull all the vegetation, actually push the vegetation, put that in the back, and then I took about 3-4 inches of the soil on top that was mixed in with the roots, and I pushed that, and I covered the brush with that soil and made a little bit of a berm around the whole edge. And it really hid all the debris really good, which saved the customer a lot of money from having to remove all this debris. So you can see this little channel that I dug out right here, and the reason being is this whole grade that I've made right here pitches down towards us and this way, pitches down. So if I would have kept that berm the whole way, it would have allowed for a puddle to form right here. So that's going to allow any surface water to drain off into the woods. And now all the customer needs to do is topsoil and grass seed. Eventually, once the tree's gone and they're ready to extend it and make a lawn, they are all set. Very big area. 1.5 days excavated, graded, and compression compacted in. 1.5 days, one guy. It's amazing what mini excavators can do. Benny, it takes a while to even just like turn this camera on to see this whole area.
It's a big area.
Dude, it's a monster. It's a fun job. That's got to be top 3, one of my favorite things to do. Kind of go in a very overgrown area with vegetation, rip it all out, regrade it, compact it, get it ready for something new. I love doing that. Very fun. But we're off to this last portion of the project on this property. And when I say we, I mean Benny.
Me and you.
Both of us together. Till the next video, which is going to be this video. Peace. God bless. Say goodbye to Benny.
Goodbye. See you in the next video, because that's where I'll be.